This is the sound of the savannah when the water disappears. In this land, drought doesn't arrive with violence. It arrives with persistence. It steals the green, hardens the earth, weakens bodies, and shortens time. Little by little, the savannah stops being a home and becomes a field of absolute endurance. Here, there is no neutrality. Either you adapt or you disappear. Across many regions of Africa, the rainy season can fail for months, sometimes for consecutive years. When that happens, rivers that once wound through the plains become corridors of dust. Lakes shrink day after day until only isolated puddles remain, fought over by hundreds of animals. Water, always the center of life, becomes the scarcest and most dangerous resource in the savannah. Where there is water, animals gather. And where animals gather, there is conflict, disease, and death. During a severe drought, temperatures can easily rise beyond 40 degrees Celsius. The mid-afternoon sun doesn't just warm, it punishes. Evaporation accelerates. Vegetation dries out before completing its cycle, and the grass that feeds great herbivores loses its nutritional value fast. Even when pasture is still visible, it no longer sustains. Animals eat and keep losing weight. It's a silent hunger, progressive and relentless. Drought also reshapes the behavior of the savannah. Animals that would normally avoid certain territories are forced to take risks. Journeys of tens, sometimes hundreds, of kilometers become routine in the search for water. Old trails are reactivated. Dangerous routes are crossed. And calves, unable to keep pace, are left behind. With every step, the energy cost rises. While replacement simply doesn't exist. And as water vanishes, new invisible enemies appear. Contaminated puddles become breeding grounds for bacteria, parasites, and toxins. Weakened animals drink anyway. Because the alternative is certain death. Many don't survive the days that follow. taken by infection, organ failure, or extreme dehydration. The body begins to fail from the inside out. First, the muscles waste away. Then the organs collapse. No screams, no struggle. Only exhaustion. When drought takes control of the savannah, it isn't the weakest who fall first. It's the ones who depend on balance, on abundance, on consistency. Drought doesn't test brute strength. It tests resistance to collapse. And even the giants begin to fail. Lions, ultimate symbols of power, are among the first to feel the real impact. Without rain, herbivore populations drop sharply, and hunting becomes rarer and rarer. Lions rely on large, regular prey to maintain their body mass. Without it, the body begins to consume itself. Muscle shrinks, energy drains, and every attempt to hunt becomes a gamble. A failed attack now costs more than effort. It costs days of survival. Drought also fractures prides. Lionesses, responsible for most of the hunting, grow exhausted. Cubs go hungry. Dominant males, weakened, lose territory to rivals who are just as desperate. Conflict increases, but victories no longer guarantee food. In extreme periods, lions may turn to cannibalism, attack members of their own group, or abandon cubs that can't keep up. The king of the savannah isn't dethroned by another predator. He's defeated by scarcity. Elephants, the largest land animals alive, face an even crueler challenge. A single adult elephant can consume more than 150 liters of water a day. During drought, that need becomes a sentence. Herds travel tens, sometimes hundreds of kilometers in search of water. The march is slow, constant and devastating for the most vulnerable. Calves can't endure long journeys under extreme sun. Elderly elephants with worn teeth can no longer grind the little dry vegetation available. Many simply collapse along the way. Others become trapped in dried riverbeds while trying to dig improvised wells with their tusks. There are records of entire herds surrounding fallen bodies, touching them again and again, as if refusing to accept the loss. Drought doesn't kill only the body. It breaks social structures built over decades. Zebras feel the collapse in a direct, unforgiving way. Dependent on wide grasslands, they rapidly lose their main food source. Dry grass offers little nutrition and wears down teeth. With too little energy, the body thins, immunity drops, and opportunistic diseases spread easily. With each day without rain, a zebra grows slower. And in the savannah, slowness is a death sentence. And then there are the wildebeest, famous for their massive migrations, facing perhaps the quietest fate of all. Drought disrupts ancient roots. Rivers dry earlier than expected. Grasslands vanish. Thousands keep moving forward. Driven by instinct even when there is nothing ahead. Many die standing up exhausted. Others collapse near contaminated puddles. Where water concentrates lethal bacteria. In major droughts, the death toll can reach tens of thousands in a single season. The cruelest part is that most of these deaths don't happen under attack. There is no fight, no chase, only depletion, the slow failure of the body. The savannah fills with bodies that weren't hunted. They were beaten by the environment. And every animal that falls leaves something behind. An empty space. A motionless body. A resource that changes hands. And yet, not everyone collapses when drought rules the savannah. In the middle of the breakdown, there are animals that don't depend on abundance, but on extreme adaptation. They don't fight drought. They were shaped by it. While others weaken, these ones endure, silent, efficient and relentlessly prepared. The oryx may be the greatest symbol of that endurance. Living in arid and semi-arid regions, it has a body designed to survive where almost nothing can. Its metabolism can drastically reduce water loss, allowing it to go days, sometimes weeks, without drinking. The oryx pulls moisture from the dry plants it eats, even when those plants seem dead. Even more impressive is its ability to regulate body temperature. While most mammals must keep their bodies near 37 degrees Celsius, the oryx allows its temperature to rise during the day, avoiding the waste of water through sweating. At night, when the air cools, it releases the heat it stored. In a collapsing savannah, it doesn't battle the climate, it adjusts to it. Meanwhile, at ground level, another survivor moves through cracks and dust. The African warthog. Ugly, underestimated, and extremely tough. Unlike selective herbivores, the warthog is a total opportunist. It eats deep roots, buried bulbs, insects, carrion, almost any organic matter it can find. When the surface dies, it digs. Its physiology allows it to handle intense heat and long periods of scarcity. Even weakened, it stays active. Where other animals abandon territory, the warthog remains. It doesn't depend on the savannah at its peak. It survives on what's left of it. And then there are the meerkats. Small, seemingly fragile, yet incredibly efficient. Living in highly organized groups, they face drought with cooperation and strategy. Their underground tunnel systems provide shelter from extreme heat. Drastically reducing water loss and energy burn. While the surface burns, the underground protects. Meerkats also get much of their water from their diet: insects, larvae, and small vertebrates. They barely need to drink. And their constant vigilance reduces unnecessary risk. Every movement is calculated. Every exit has a purpose. In a world where any wasted energy can be fatal, efficiency is survival. These animals don't thrive. They endure. They don't rule the savannah. They hold on. As giants fall and the landscape fills with silence, these survivors keep moving. Proving that in the savannah, size and strength guarantee nothing. What matters is who can live on less. But every act of endurance leaves traces. And where death accumulates, someone benefits. For most animals, drought is a nightmare. For the crocodile, it's the perfect scenario. Drought doesn't weaken the crocodile. It organizes the environment in its favor. With less water available, herbivores are forced to visit the same spots again and again. Trails form. Timetables repeat. Predictability increases. And the crocodile is a predator that depends on exactly that. Routine, carelessness, and proximity. Unlike active hunters, crocodiles spend almost no energy. Their metabolism is slow, efficient, and brutally economical. They can go months without eating, waiting for the exact moment. While other predators waste away, the crocodile stays still. Buried in mud, with only eyes and nostrils exposed, nearly invisible beneath murky water. Drought also removes escape routes. In full rivers, prey can flee into deeper or wider channels. In dry periods, there are no options. The banks are exposed, slippery, and narrow. One wrong step is enough. One second of distraction is enough. And when the attack happens, it's final. Animals weakened by hunger and dehydration have slower reflexes, less strength to resist, and less chance of escape. The crocodile's famous explosion, that sudden burst from the water, becomes even more effective. Drought doesn't just make the attack easier, It reduces the victim's ability to fight back. Another decisive factor is the concentration of carcasses. Many animals die near water. From exhaustion or from illness after drinking contaminated pools. For the crocodile, that means easy food. It doesn't rely only on hunting. It benefits from accumulated death. Carrion, scraps, and entire bodies become part of its menu during drought. There is also a lesser-known behavior. In extreme periods, crocodiles can dig deep burrows in the mud, creating humid refuges called burrows. These shelters keep the body hydrated and protected from excessive heat, allowing them to survive even when the surface looks completely dead. While the savannah splits open, the crocodile waits, buried, intact. In the logic of drought, the crocodile doesn't run. It doesn't migrate. It doesn't compete. It simply remains. And the more the savannah suffers, the more efficient it becomes. While lions grow thin, it grows heavy. While herds break apart, it strengthens. As water disappears, it controls what remains. And when drought reaches its peak, the savannah gains a new sound. Not a predator's roar. Not a herd's call. The heavy odour of wings. Vultures don't announce their arrival. They simply appear. One lands at a distance. Then another. Within minutes, dozens. Before long, the sky fills with silent circles, tracing slow spirals over a single point on the ground. Where there is death, they know. Drought creates the perfect stage for this frenzy. Carcasses accumulate. Weakened animals die near puddles, trails, isolated patches of shade. They no longer have the strength to move away. And when a body falls, it isn't hidden by dense vegetation or deep mud. The dry savannah exposes everything. Death becomes visible from kilometers away. Vultures are masters at finding the end. Some species can locate carcasses simply by watching other vultures in the sky. One bird dropping is enough to draw dozens. Within minutes, the ground becomes a battleground. Thin bodies, wings spread wide, bare necks plunging again and again into flesh. The silence breaks with bone snaps, harsh croaks and ripping sounds. No ceremony, no waiting, no respect. Drought doesn't allow it. The frenzy is brutal because time is short. Heat speeds decomposition. Insects arrive quickly. Other predators may come. So vultures do what they do best. Consume everything, fast with no waste. An animal that took months to die can vanish in hours. Reduced to clean bones and dried skin. And there is something deeply disturbing about that scene. Clusters of vultures form living circles around death. They shove, pile on, spread their wings to intimidate rivals. Some literally walk over the body as they feed. Others wait on the edges, patient, knowing their turn will come. It's organized chaos, driven by hunger and opportunity. Drought multiplies this spectacle. The more animals collapse, the more often these gatherings happen. The sky over the dry savannah becomes marked by black silhouettes gliding slowly, always watching the ground. To a distant observer, vultures aren't a direct threat. But to the savannah, they are a clear sign. Something died here. And it's not rare for vultures to arrive even before death is complete. Animals so weak they can't move draw attention. The end approaches not with violence, but with waiting. The presence of these birds is the silent omen of what is about to happen. Drought is not an isolated event in the African savannah. It is a mechanism. A process that repeats adjusts populations, redraws territories, and decides who stays and who disappears. Nothing here is wasted. Nothing is random. The bodies that fall feed other bodies. The water that vanishes concentrates what life remains. The suffering of some sustains the survival of others. Drought teaches a lesson that can't be ignored. Strength doesn't guarantee permanence. Size doesn't secure a future. Dominance doesn't mean survival. In the African savannah, survival means knowing when to move, when to wait, and when to accept the end. If you made it this far, leave a like on the video, comment what you thought, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.